the Sentosa IR. So nice eh.
Is this the first time they've been here? It's been built for so long ago. You don't know meh? Hey, why are you so sad? What happened?
Ever since this IR open, my daddy has become a gambler. Now he whole day only know how to gamble. Now my family lose a lot of money already eh.
Huh? I remember that you told me that your mom lost her job because of the 08 recession. How did you tell this way?
It's because of this IR lah.
Actually, what do you mean? This IR has brought Singapore economy a lot of benefits. I heard from my parents and read out the news about the IR. It not only benefits the tourism sector but also the retail sector. The government actually spends a lot of effort planning and building the IR to make Singapore economy prosper. Then we will through this learning journey to know more about the impact of IRs on the external economy of Singapore.
Hello everyone, my name is Kui Kui
and my name is Poo Poo.
We will be talking about the economic impact on integrated resorts.
Balance of payments shows the financial transactions between a country and the rest of the world in a year, which involves the inflow and outflow of the goods and services, financial assets as well as transfers. Having the most open and liberal economy for international trade and whose economy with the best investment potential, Singapore has managed to attract foreign and local investment in our market. Thus, a surplus in the current account balance is expected as export revenues are greater than the import expenditure. At the same time, this will form the foundation for stabilizing the local currency. A healthy BOP means that the country is accumulating foreign exchange reserves, which is important in financing purchase of imports as well as maintaining the strength of the Singapore dollar. Balance of service records the value of import and export of services, such as tourism. The strong performance we are having reflects the improving global economic environment, which will revitalize our tourism sector and enhance our appeal as an attractive destination for visitors. Balance of service records the value of import and export of services such as tourism. The strong performance we are having reflects the improving global economic environment, which will revitalize our tourism sector and enhance our appeal as an attractive destination for visitors. This shows the positive impact of Singapore's new IRs. Financial account records the investment within and out of the country. With a total investment of more than 5 million Sing dollars, Marina Bay Sands is one of the world's largest investments for a single integrated resort. I'll be talking about the impact on exchange rates in Singapore economy. The exchange rate is the price at which a country's currency is exchanged for another country's currency. It is determined by the interaction of demand for and supply of country's currency in the exchange rate market. The price of the Singapore currency in foreign currency rises ceteris paribus. However, if the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS in short, does not increase the supply of domestic currency in Singapore, the rise in price of the domestic currency would be even higher.
So what has this got to do with us?
Hey, relax. There are still certain internal impacts which will benefit us Singaporeans. Take a look at this.
Hello! Kui Kui will be explaining the internal impacts the IR have on the Singapore economy in the three main areas: national income, employment, and general price level.
Firstly, national income will be measured by the gross domestic product or GDP of Singapore. The change in the total money value of final goods and services produced would definitely be significant, since it is needed on a daily, monthly, and annual basis to satisfy staff and guests. This peak in real GDP measured is 0.2% above the baseline, with casino being the economic engine that generates the bulk of profits, and this which will have a much larger cumulative impact on the aggregate output. Also, with the attraction of the IR, there will be more tourist consumption within the country. If the GDP contributions by the IRs continue to rise at the same pace going forward, we can expect a full year GDP contributions of about Singapore dollar 2 billion directly from these two iconic projects. Since an increase in GDP also means an increase in the amount of goods and services available to each person for consumption, the standard of living, or SOL, in material aspect improves. The non-material aspect is also raised since the IR is meant for leisure activities for relaxation. Overall, the level of SOL is higher. Moving on, I'll be talking about the employment in Singapore.
Oh! I remember that last time I read the news about Singapore predicted that approximately 35,000 jobs will be created directly and indirectly as a result of the IRs.
Yes, the IRs improve Singapore's unemployment rate, as the IRs will require many people to be employed to provide goods and services to the consumers. It is also not unusual for there to be 1 to 200 different positions within the entire complex. Direct employment of this magnitude induces a multiplier effect in the local community, with additional jobs created to service the employees of the IRs. Basic employment consists of the jobs in an industry where the original investment occurs, while non-basic employment, on the other hand, is the consequential employment in the production of consumption goods to meet the increased expenditure in the primary industries. Lastly, the general price level GPL is also altered due to the IRs. The GPL is determined using the AD-AS framework. AD consists of consumption, investment, government expenditure, and lastly, net exports. In short, AD equals to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Consumption expenditure will definitely increase due to the influx of visitors. The locals would also consume more goods since the economy is blooming in Singapore. With the IR, business expectations will be more optimistic since future demands and price will be expected to rise in future. Hence, there will be more investments in Singapore. As the IR in itself is a fiscal policy that the government has chosen to implement to influence national income, government expenditure had been raised to aid the building of the IR. With more foreign investments, foreign economies would also engage in international trade with the Singapore open economy. Hence, her net exports will experience a surplus. On the whole, the AD component will increase and shift to the right from AD1 to AD2 on the graph. As seen here, the shift of the AD curve will cause the GPL to rise from P1 to P2, while national income, NY, increase from Y1 to Y2. Due to the scales upgrading efforts, the AS curve will also change accordingly since the productive capacity increases. With the upward shift of the AS curve, the GPL will reduce from P1 to P2, but the national income also increases. When the AD and the AS curve shifts together, the national income would increase, but the change in price level would depend on which factor is more significant. From our research, the changes in Consumer Price Index, CPI, tend to be small, but there is still a slight increase. This means that the effect of the increase in AD is comparatively more significant than that of the AS. The multiplier theory helps us to understand the magnified impact the IRs have on Singapore's economy. Upon an increase in government expenditure which leads to increased aggregate expenditure, there will be an immediate increase in income to recipients. On receiving income, the recipient spends, saves, buy imports and pay taxes. The next recipient will do the same. This process will continue, and for every round of expenditure on domestic goods, an increase in income will result, causing an increase in expenditure which will be multiplied further to the national income. In turn, the tax revenues generated from the IR would also aid government expenditure, causing a cycle of income generated to the country. Thus, there is a positive impact of the IRs on Singapore even before the IR started its operations. However, as the K value in Singapore is small, the multiplier effect is not as significant. It will affect, but not to a large extent. This is because we have a large withdrawal due to the compulsory saving plans the government imposed on citizens, and also the thrifty nature of Asians. This will cause the marginal propensity to withdraw, MPW, to be very large and the K value to be small.
Oh, I see. Now I've understood the purpose of using this IR.
That's right. It's true that it will bring several negative social impacts like higher gambling rates and more families are breaking apart. But if you see from the government's perspective, they are actually doing this to help Singapore economy to recover from the 2008 recession in a short period of time. In this way, more jobs will be created and your mummy can find new jobs within the IR or other non-basic jobs outside the IR.
Yay!
Furthermore, the Singapore government actually implemented the casino exclusion measures to ban your family members from getting into the casino. So it is possible to prevent your daddy from excessive gambling.
Okay, I shall go ahead and tell my mommy about this. I just hope that everything will turn out fine and
The end!